Hey, thanks for coming back to the channel. This one's been a long time coming. I've been looking for a new audio interface since this time last year when I replaced my broken 2013 MacBook Pro with the new 2015 model, ending my personal relationship with FireWire. I tried the Apple FireWire to Thunderbolt adapter, and that did work fine, but with more and more high channel count productions relying on Dante for interfacing audio with recorders and computers, I've found a real need for a small, versatile interface that can accomplish a few specific tasks. My highest priorities for a new interface were 1. Portability. My old Mark of the Unicorn 896 was simply too big. I want something that's 1 rack space or smaller, and battery powered would be awesome. Number 2, a minimum of 2 digitally controlled mic preamplifiers of similar quality to typical industry standard digital mixing consoles. Number 3, I need enough analog line level ins and outs for testing legacy gear with a minimum of 8 outputs for QLab work. ADAT optical I/O, at least 8 channels for use with legacy gear again and for expansion, SPDIF I/O as well for testing and connecting to other digital gear, and the ability to work as a standalone mixer when needed with minimal effort would be perfect. So let's take a closer look. The UltraLite mk4 is a very light half-rack size unit with lightweight power requirements of only 12 volts to 18 volts DC at 1 amp, making powering it with an inexpensive battery a real possibility. It takes just about 30 seconds to boot up completely. It's configured with 2 mic line instrument inputs on the front of the unit, along with 6 additional analog inputs on the rear and 10 total analog outputs. SPDIF I/O and optical I/O make for very easy expansion of inputs and outputs and a wide range of possibilities with outboard processing, mic pre's, and connecting to other digital gear. MIDI ins and outs are handy, although it wouldn't have been a deal breaker for me. I really like the layout of this unit. Having 2 channels on the front is really convenient, and if you've used MOTU gear before, you'll find their push to select digital encoder pots to be a familiar way to navigate the menu system. There are hardware controls for the 2 input channels with independent control of both the pad and 48 volt phantom power supply for each channel. You have the ability to apply 60 dB of gain at this stage, and when you adjust the gain, the screen automatically changes to a PFL mode meter. The detent adjustment knobs allow for very accurate incremental adjustments of all parameters. Pressing in on the channel 2 knob takes you into the main settings where you have adjustments for clock mode, sample rate, optical routing, MIDI pass-through on and off, display contrast, password settings, and a complete factory reset. Navigate to the presets menu to find preset configurations for typical uses: audio interface, interface plus mixer, live recording with mixer, standalone mixer, and optical converter modes. Easy access is also provided to check your firmware version and the most recent date of update, along with the BIOS information. Overall, device info is also easily accessed in this menu too. Back in the default view, pressing the control knob for the headphone volume toggles between headphone and main output volume, a familiar MOTU feature once again. Controlling the unit in more depth is done via web app control, with the app being served from the hardware itself. Multiple clients can control the unit at the same time, although Mark of the Unicorn hasn't published any official guess at how many might be too many, but your typical combination of a laptop and a tablet or 2 and a few iPhones seems to be working just fine for me so far. Although the AVB version of this one can be plugged right into an Airport Express and controlled via Wi-Fi directly, this version needs a computer running the MOTU Discovery software. With the host computer and control client on the same Wi-Fi, you simply open the Discovery app on your device and choose the unit you want to control. You can also connect directly from any web browser on any device capable of running a web browser simply by navigating to localhost 1280 in that browser. My first attempts to connect were pretty simple and straightforward. Although Apple users, after you install the software package, you will need to navigate to your computer system preferences, go to security and privacy settings, and then click allow next to the message saying that the MOTU software was blocked from loading. Once this is done, everything fires right up. MOTU construction is always top shelf. They use quality components, build robust boxes that are lightweight and pretty attractive, and they include handy features like this internal jumper that engages the auto power on function, option for situations like installations where you don't want to have to manually switch it. This thinking extends into the included diagnostic tools that MOTU has long since packaged with their interfaces. These include a full-screen real-time FFT display, spectrogram waterfall display, an oscilloscope, XY amplitude graph, correlation metering, and phase visualization tools. These tools have been a huge part of what has kept me coming back to MOTU interfaces for a lot of years. So that's it for my first look at the Mark of the Unicorn UltraLite mk4 interface. I'm going to be using this little box a lot in the future, and a full review will be coming once I've got to know it a little bit better over time. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to point you in the right direction as I learn this unit too. Be sure to check out the corresponding page for the UltraLite mk4 on my website, DcSoundOp.com, for more info and updates as I go with this unit. That's linked below. And thanks to everyone who supports the channel on Patreon and by visiting the website regularly. I'll see you next time.